Hey y'all! Welcome back to my channel!
Why can't they leave me alone? Good night.
Today, we're gonna take a break from curly hair. And we're gonna talk about the second part that my channel is all about, that I haven't really talked about because, I only put my first video out like a week ago, so about a week ago. In my name, it says Cammy's Curls and Colors. And obviously the curls I think is self-explanatory, but the colors part I think is not self-explanatory. Don't you? I don't know what just came out. Don't you worry, because I'm about to explain it all for you right now. Buckle your seatbelt. This video is all about my brain. We're gonna be talking about synesthesia today. I'm so excited to talk about this with you because this is like my whole brain and my whole life, so this is exciting. I have done a lot of research just in life in general and prior to this video, so I have a lot to share with you. So, this video is for all people, all types of people, but especially for my friends out there who are my friends and have wondered about my life and my brain and have not really fully understood it. This video is for you, my friends. This is something I'm really passionate about because when I found out I had synesthesia, I searched synesthesia on YouTube. I only found a few TED Talks on personal experiences, and a lot of them I felt weren't a day-to-day representation of synesthesia, and I really want to share that with the world. I want to give people the help that I didn't have, because when I was going through school, I'm also really dyslexic, so I have synesthesia and I'm really dyslexic, so those two combined made it really difficult for me to go through school. So I had nothing to help me, really. I just kind of had to figure it all out by myself. While that is great and wonderful, I want to give people the tools so they can maybe realize that they have something like this, and I want to give people the tools that what helped me through school, what helped me through my daily life. Synesthesia is self-diagnosed, so because if you think about it, you don't know how other people think. You never will. You can't read into someone's brain. You don't know exactly how they're thinking, so how would you know? Let's talk about what synesthesia actually is now that I've talked about kind of what I want this video to do and how I want my channel to help people. Alright, so I'm going to give you the actual definition that the internet uses if you type in what's synesthesia, what is synesthesia, because I tend to sometimes not explain things super well, and I just want to give you, and I also know that it helps me if you say it in different ways, because one way may not work for everybody who's watching this video. Okay, so this is what the internet says. Synesthesia is an anomalous blending of the senses in which the stimulation of one modality simultaneously produces a sensation in a different modality. Synesthesia is hear colors, feel sounds, and taste shapes. The really short version of all of this is it's basically a blending of your senses. So yeah, like the internet said, I can hear colors, feel sounds, and taste shapes, and different colors affect me emotionally from day to day, and I see colors within people and energies in the room and in the space. And the book that I found on the internet, because I wanted to learn, I just wanted, the internet really doesn't give you a lot of information about this. It gives you a good scientific definition of this, but there was only one good website I found that really helped me figure out why I feel certain things the way I do. So synesthesia does not fall under the category of learning disability, which ADHD and dyslexia does. It's not a learning disability, it's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of a genetic thing that can happen to you. Yeah, so the book I've been reading is called Wednesday is Indigo Blue, Discovering the Brain of Synesthesia, by Richard E. Sytuik, MD, and he's an MD, and they're scientists and all this stuff. Synesthesia means joined sensation, such that a voice or music, for example, is not only heard but also seen, tasted, or felt as a physical touch. Some individuals with synesthesia are shocked to discover as children that the rest of the world does not experience things as they do. Many other synesthetes reach adulthood completely unaware that their experience is in any way unusual. So synesthesia, it's basically it's either a lack of wiring in this specific part in your brain, and I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna insert the picture in the thing. So it's like it's either a lack of wiring between these two spots in your brain, or you have extra wiring in those spots in your brain, and it is genetic. That is usually how you get it. It's genetic. Just give you the book's definition of synesthesia. Okay, so this is the 5 most common types of synesthesia. The most common type of synesthesia, colored letters. Letters. That means that every single letter in my brain is associated a color, and every time that they spell out a word, think of that color, think of that letter, that color is in their brain. When they're reading text, they see color. Not like physically see color, but like in their brain. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F. And I put the E in black, and it's actually white, but I don't have you can't do a white color on a whiteboard, so there's the white in parentheses. But A is this very, very dark navy blue, B is always this lighter blue, C is always yellow, D is always brown, and E is always white, and F is always green. So that is what colored letters is, and that is the most common type of synesthesia. Colored hearing is when you, for example, when you listen to music and you see a bunch of shapes in your brain, or you see a bunch of shapes and colors moving in and out. And it doesn't have to be moving in and out, but for most synesthetes it is. It like moves in and out. Like, for example, like Ariana Grande's songs are like completely pink in my brain, and they are different, like just the different notes and things are completely like different levels of different shades of pink. And another cool thing I'll get into in a second is there have actually been recorded of some synesthetes seeing colors in their brain that no one has actually seen before. And I understand what they mean because I've actually experienced this. People will see kind of like different like mixtures of colors that are like just like you've never seen them before, but you can't actually see them in your brain or describe them or you don't have like anything to describe them because you've never seen these colors before. And that has happened to me multiple occasions where it's like, this person is this color, but it's kind of a mixture of these two colors, but it's not the same thing, but I've never seen this color before, so I can't explain it, and honestly my brain can't even comprehend it. So I kind of just like, and honestly the color's not very clear in my brain. It's just like, I know it's not any of the colors in the rainbow, but it's similar to these colors, and it's just a color I've never seen before. So that can happen, which is really cool, I think. But number forms is basically when people either they see certain numbers or letters in space around them, or like in their brain in the space around them. So in my brain, all the number line is like completely like right in front of me, and everything is really organized, and everything is like this and this and this, but everything is separated by chunks. That's number forms. And when I choreograph dance, one of the ways I have to choreograph is I remember certain, and the ways I actually remember choreography is I remember certain choreography chunks in certain spaces of the room. So if we're doing like a whole, and I remember how it feels in that certain space of the room, and that's one of the biggest triggers of me to like remembering any sort of choreography whatsoever. So that's why I'm a really big spatial awareness person. Tasted words. So this is basically when you hear a word and then you get a certain taste in your mouth. That is something really common that a lot of synesthetes talk about. This one's kind of cool. So this one means when you are thinking about the alphabet or the
numbers system. I called. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Or letters and numbers actually have some type of personality. So this is actually really common, and it's cool because, like, if you have synesthesia, it's common within synesthetes, because it's cool because your different letters and numbers can start to have personalities and like names, and like, for example, people will genderify like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like they'll like make a certain gender or have a certain feeling with that letter. So they'll be like, A is male, B is female, C is non-binary, like whatever. So yeah, so those are the 5 most common types of synesthesia. Now I'm going to talk about what synesthesia isn't, because I think that it can kind of be confusing for people who don't have synesthesia. And actually, fun fact, my sister has synesthesia. She has one type of synesthesia that we know of. And I think that I got it from my grandmother. When they had synesthesia as a child, people would say, a lot of people would talk about how they would feel like people were just saying, oh, you're just making that up. Or, oh, you're just, like, that experience isn't real, you're just making that up to get attention. And a lot of people, when they talk about how they had synesthesia, or not they had synesthesia, but when they were younger or whatever, they just wouldn't end up talking about their experiences because people would just kind of, like, brush it off and be like, that's not real, and you're just making that up. Whereas it's very real, and it's part of who I am, and those are my experiences, and that is literally how I experience life. For example, one really weird thing that I'll get into later in this video is I can't have white light in my room. I have to have colored light in my room, and I found this out because my favorite lamp broke, and I had to go out and get a brand new lamp, and I had to do like white light bulbs, and I was doing my homework and I had this new lamp in my room. I didn't really like it, but I was gonna return it, whatever, and I just had this white light everywhere, and I was doing my work, and I started to hallucinate a little bit, and I'll talk about how that relates to synesthesia in a second. Not in a second, just later on. You'll hear about that later on. I started to hallucinate a little bit, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I don't hallucinate very often. I do it maybe like once every 4 or 6 months. Like, I don't do it very often. And I was like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? And so I like turned off my light, and I was like, oh my God, it's my light. So I have to have colored light in my room. So actually, to the right of me, or to your left, I have a colored ball that changes colors by my demand. So I have a little remote that I can change colors to what color I need to see, which is really helpful because if I'm in a bad mood, color and my surroundings really affect me because of my synesthesia and my senses. So I can control what color I want to be around constantly with my little light up lamp over there, ball. And then I also have these colored lights over here that are like a golden color that I have on when I need it. So I can't have white light in my room, or if I have too much of white light in my personal space, I start to hallucinate. And so there are just things, the little things like that I do from day to day that are weird, and but I need them. It's really important for me. Synesthesia is not a metaphoric language. If it were, we would expect the associations to change according to the context rather than be stable as they are over a lifetime. We would further expect to find common expressions among different synesthetes instead of highly idiosyncratic associations that are observed. So basically saying if synesthesia if synesthesia was just metaphoric language, like personality is you're so bright and bubbly, like when people talk about that, that's not synesthesia. And some actually scientists think that people with synesthesia made those sayings, and that's why they have stuck around, because people can relate to them. But that's not synesthesia, because if it were, again, like he explained, it would change in certain contexts, and those metaphoric things change in certain contexts, whereas synesthesia, all of these letters and all of these colors I associate with the letters and numbers and all of my experiences with certain people and the colors I see for them, they will stay with me for a lifetime. Another thing synesthesia isn't is it is not a vivid imagination. What synesthetes see is not pictorial and elaborate, but rather simple and elementary. For example, a common type of synesthesia is colored hearing, or the activation of color, shape, and movement by everyday environmental sounds, voices, and especially music. For synesthetes, these sounds trigger and experience something like fireworks, colored moving shapes that rise into existence then fade away. This is their perceptual reality. Like, this is my reality from day to day. And it may be your reality too, but I'm saying, like, this is our reality. It is important to emphasize that synesthetes do not substitute or confuse one sense for the other. That is, when seeing with their ears, they do not mistake a sound for sight. Rather, they perceive both sensations simultaneously. That's really important because that's how it feels. There are 87 different types of synesthesia. 87 different types of synesthesia. And I bet you there are more combinations that we haven't even like gathered yet. If you see my little logo kind of like in my YouTube banner, that my all those letters are how I see all the letters in my brain and my colors and stuff. So if you look at all of those like colors and stuff, that's how I see my name in my brain. So that's awesome. And also that's why those are all different colors and like different weird shades. You're like, what the fuck? Those are all shades I see in my brain. Also, the color that I perceive myself as is orange fireworks. So that is me. Welcome to my, welcome. I love you. Never stop wearing your curls, never stop being yourself, and stay colorful, stay beautiful. Goodbye!